Hey y'all, man, I was gonna give this stuff up, but man, this stuff just hit this morning. President Trump just got on the news this morning, and he's talking about the red flag program they're fixing to put into the computer systems that sits there and watches everybody's every letter typed into the computer. They are fixing to sit there and make it where they can sit there and imprison you. They called it involuntary imprisonment if they deem you a red flag risk. They call it a red flag program. I've got the speech pulled up. I'm gonna try to get to it. I don't know how many people's watching. This is probably. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. I've just fed up this YouTube crap, and it is what it is. But there's nobody in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this. So y'all listen to what this man just said on live TV.
On early warning signs, I am directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, as well as social media companies, to develop tools that can detect mass shooters before they strike. As an example, the monster in the Parkland High School in Florida had many red flags against him, and yet nobody took decisive action. Nobody did anything. Why not? Second, we must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately. Cultural change is hard, but each of us can choose to build a culture that celebrates the inherent worth and dignity of every human life. That's what we have to do. Third, we must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals who may commit acts of violence, and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement.
Did y'all just hear that? Involuntary confinement will go on.
Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun.
You don't really have to be mentally ill. If y'all listen to this, they are setting up programs in the like YouTube and everywhere that watches for red flag words, hate speech, and stuff like that. And they're gonna use that program to sit there and say, you're mentally challenged, you have mental problems, and they're gonna put you in prison involuntarily. Did you hear what? Look, I'll rewind this just a little bit. This is what this man just said. Man, it's hard to do. This mouse don't like acting right. Listen to what this man just said.
Who may commit acts of violence, and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement.
Did y'all hear that? Involuntary confinement. So if they deem you have a mental issue because you got mad and did a rant on YouTube, they can come get you and lock you up, and that's it. You're done. That's what the man just said. It gets better. Keep listening.
Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun. Fourth, we must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process.
Did y'all hear that? If they feel that you have a mental issue of any kind, they can come take your guns and rapid issue, however he said it. But they can come take your guns without due process, basically. We'll just keep listening. Y'all wonder what? This is why I got to get off YouTube, man, because I am getting madder and madder and madder, and I just can't stop, man. I'm shaking.
That is why I have called for red flag laws.
You hear that? Red flag laws. Now, y'all listen. Listen to what this red flag law entails.
also known as extreme risk protection orders. Today, I'm also directing the Department of Justice to propose legislation ensuring that those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty, and that this capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively.
I can agree with that. Anybody that does anything like that, they need to be publicly hanged. That would put the message to anybody else doing it that they'll be hanged. I don't get it. These people don't mind going out and killing 20, 30 folks, but they're scared to lose their own life. I mean, come on. But let's continue.
Decisively and without years of needless delay. These are just a few of the areas of cooperation that we can pursue. I am open and ready to listen and discuss all ideas that will actually work and make a very big difference. Republicans and Democrats have proven that we can join together in a bipartisan fashion to address this plague. Last year, we enacted the Stop School Violence and Fix NICS Acts into law, providing grants to improve school safety and strengthening critical background checks for firearm purchases. At my direction, the Department of Justice banned bump stocks. Last year, we prosecuted a record number of firearms offenses. But there is so much more that we have to do. Now is the time to set destructive partisanship aside, so destructive, and find the courage to answer hatred with unity, devotion, and love. Our future is in our control. America will rise to the challenge. We will always have, and we always will win. The choice is ours, and ours alone. It is not up to mentally ill monsters. It is up to us. If we are able to pass great legislation after all of these years, we will ensure that those who were attacked will not have died in vain. May God bless the memory of those who perished in Toledo.
All right, he's done with. But did y'all catch that? I mean, they're slick telling you they're fixing to run a daggone program that sits there and watches every word you type, and it's a computer program, and that thing's gonna sit there and red flag. Oh, this person's got a problem. So, boom, they're gonna come put you in involuntary confinement. That's what they said. Involuntary confinement. Was that a mental institution or is that a prison? But anyhow, I just thought people need to know what's going on. If anybody missed that and didn't see what's going on, now if you're on YouTube and you're saying anything hate or anything that'll cause a red flag, be looking for them to come to your house, take your guns, and lock you up forever. No ifs, ands, buts. I didn't mean it. I was just playing. It doesn't matter. Once that computer red flags you, boom, you're done.